Welcome back class. So we were studying about the bipolar junction transistors and we learned about the NPN transistor, PNP transistor, different configuration, common emitter, common base, common collectors, and then we learned the IV characteristics and the general relationship. Okay, like if you have a NPN transistor and this was the base, this was the emitter, collector, we have collector current which is alpha times of the emitter current, okay, and we have the base current, and the relationship between the collector and the base current was this one, and also we know that the collector current is also the summation of the base current plus the collector current. We learned about the current gain transfer function, which was alpha over 1 minus alpha, or alpha was the beta over 1 plus beta. So different relationship, and then we try to solve the couple of examples. So now we are actually trying to explore the equivalent circuit models of the BJTs. So this is one of the model for the NPN transistor in the active mode. So we are going to study about the four models. So all models are for the active mode. So if you just relate this with this model which I have just described here, so we can see that basically transistor what we are having here. This is emitter, collector and the base. Okay, so we have a base current and here we can get the collector current which is beta times of the IB, and here we get the emitter current, or this is also alpha times of IE, or the alpha the emitter current is what? Collector current divided by the alpha. Okay, so basically here we are having the current source, so we can actually model the collector current with the current source. And if you remember the diode characteristic equation, the current equation, it was like this one: saturation current multiplied by exponential power VBE over VT, and the VT value was 25 millivolt, right? So we can actually model these with the different values. Okay, we can model this collector current in this form. Okay, and this saturated emitter current, it was be whatever we can getting the collector current divided by the alpha value. Okay, collector current divided by the alpha value and the base current. Okay, so this we can also model as, okay, we can also model this thing as the that this is actually the alpha times of the IE. Okay, so this model, in this model we can see that the collector current is actually depending on the voltage. So this is called a voltage controlled current source. Okay, so this is a current source and it is depending on the voltage, base emitter voltage. Okay, we know that if it is going forward biased and the collector base junction is reverse biased, then the flow of the current will be happen in the NPN transistor. So this is called voltage control current source. Okay, voltage control depending on the voltage. We can also model the same, okay, by just this one. Okay, we know that this IC is actually what? Alpha times of the IE. Okay, so alpha times of the IE, we can also model this the collector current like this one. So now this is a current source, okay, but now it is depending on the current. So this is called current controlled current source model. Okay, so there is no difference between them. Okay, what I have done, I have just make these two equations equal, that IS EVBE our VT is equal to what? Alpha times of the IE. Okay, so if you know one thing, for example, if you know IS, you can calculate the IE based on the values of this, okay, or the vice versa depending on the alpha value. So this is the one model. Okay, so basically two models. The next model, so here we can actually learn the alpha. Okay, so alpha is actually called the in this case we can see that so alpha is called, in this case we have the base common, so we called common base current gain. Okay, alpha is called the common base current gain because here base is common between the two terminals. Similarly, we can also made two other models. Okay, So it's similar models. Okay, now we are actually making the models in terms of the collector current and the base current. Okay, and we know that the collector current we can model like this: IS times EBBE our bit, right? And we also know that the collector current is beta times of IB, or IB is what? Collector current divided by beta. So we can model the base current now, okay, based on the this collector current values, magnitude of that, and this sum is equal to this one, okay, or this is what? Beta times of the IB. So I can replace this equation with beta times of IB. Okay, so these are actually four models. Okay, again this is a voltage controlled current source model, and this is a current controlled current source model. Okay, but this models is based on the emitter current. This model is based on the base current. Okay, so depending on the question type, we can choose the appropriate model and then we can solve the question. Okay, for example, let's say I have a question numerical to solve, and I have given the value of the IS. Okay, for example, the saturation current, I have been given the value of the beta. Okay, and let's say I have been given the value of this base current. Okay, this is given, IS is given, and let's say I have to calculate the rest of the values. Okay, so in this case, so like we have the IS, we have the IB, we have the beta value. Okay, so depending on the available values, we can actually go for this model. For example, if we have to calculate the VBE, okay, and these values are given, so we can choose either one of them, this model, and then we can solve the numerical. So depending on the available, and for example, if the question is you are given IS, you are given for example IE value, you are given alpha value, and again you have to calculate the base emitter voltage, maybe you can choose this model. So the selection of the equivalent circuit model, it will depend on the available data in the questions. For example, this is one example. Okay, so we will solve this example during the live session. There are different modes of the operation of the NPN transistor. So like in the first lecture I have explained about the active mode. Okay, usually it's used for the amplification purpose, and there are two other modes, okay, which is are called as the active mode, saturation mode, and the third mode is the cutoff mode. Okay, so usually in saturation mode, okay, the value of the collector emitter voltage, okay, is usually we take 0.2 volt, okay, in the saturation mode like we did in the earlier example. And for the active mode, so basically your collector emitter voltage should be greater than the base voltage. Okay, so this is the condition of the active mode. Okay. If the collector emitter voltage, the drop is greater than the base voltage drop, okay, it means the base emitter junction is forward bias and the collector base junction is reverse bias, and we are in active mode. And if this transistor is working in saturation mode, so typically we model the saturation mode with is equal to 0.3 volt, and then actually what is happening that case, as we discussed earlier on, okay, the current value, the collector current value will start decreasing, okay, when we go in the saturation mode. So what exactly is saturation mode? This is some explanation which I am not going in details. Okay, so usually, so what is exactly saturation mode? So this is the IV characteristic curve. Okay, like we have seen earlier on, that if we are increasing the collector voltage, like this is my NPN transistor, this is base, this is my emitter, and this is my collector, and this is the voltage drop, collector emitter, and this is the base voltage drop. So we can actually make the relationship between the IC value and the collector emitter voltage. So as we increase the collector emitter voltage, and for example we have these are the changing IB value curves. Okay, and let's say for example I have a fixed value of the collector emitter voltage. Okay, and I select IB value of this one. Let's say 20 microampere. Then If we, for example, going for this value of the collector emitter voltage here, we can calculate the corresponding the IC value. Okay, so basically we can derive three regions here. Okay, so for example, let's say we have chosen this value of the collector emitter voltage. Okay, and we know that there is a one relationship that IC is equal to beta times of IB. Okay, so it means as IB is increasing, IC should increase. Okay, this is the general relationship. So let's say, for example, I have chosen this value of the collector emitter voltage, let's say around 0.18. Okay, and let's say my IB value here is this is 20, let's say this is 50 microampere. Now I have fixed this voltage value VCE. Okay, and I am increasing the base current value. For example, I select this curve. Okay, I select this curve, and this curve is 50 microampere. Okay, now if I start increasing, okay, the base current, okay, beyond this value, okay, this voltage is fixed, I am trying to increase the base current beyond this value. Okay, so if I am increasing the base current, for example, let's say this is 5 microampere, so I increase from 5 microampere and I'm increasing the base current values, and I reach the 50 microampere. So now, for example, if I am at 50 microampere, I will get a corresponding value of the collector current. Now for this voltage, if I made a further increase in the base current value, okay, then for that case there will be no change. For example, you are increasing the base current value, okay, but for that you will get only almost no change in the collector current value, because now it is becoming a straight. Okay, or in other words, like if you are fixing your base current value, okay, and you are increasing the collector emitter voltage, okay, there will be no change in the collector current. Okay, because it will remains almost fixed. Okay, so basically what is happening after a particular point, okay, now if we are going beyond this region, okay, for example, these are the values. Now if I increase beyond these values, okay, there will be no further increase in the collector current value. Okay, so after this region, for example, now this region, okay, this is called saturation region. Saturation region means you are, for example, increasing the base current value, but your collector current value is not increasing. So basically it might be start decreasing a little bit. Okay, that now there is no amplification. You have reached the saturation mode, maximum mode. Okay, there is no further amplification. Okay, so this is called saturation mode. And if you are operating in this mode, okay, like you are increasing the base current value and you are like getting the amplification, this is called active mode. Okay, and if there is no base current, okay, that is called the cutoff mode. No base current means no collector current, so it means no, your collector base and emitter junction are in reverse biased, right? If they are in reverse bias, then there will be no flow of the current. So in the active mode, what is the condition of the active mode? That your base emitter junction is forward biased and your collector base junction is reverse biased. Okay, so that is the basic condition for the active mode. Okay, now in the saturation mode, what will happen? Your base emitter junction, okay, it will remain forward biased, but your collector, the collector base junction, it will go in reverse biased. Okay, so usually the collector saturation voltage we usually model with 0.2 volt, and we just try to solve our calculations. But what is happening in the saturation mode? Okay, so for example, if you are initially operating with the 100 of beta, in the saturation mode you are trying to increase the base current, but there is no change in the collector current, or almost it is decreasing. So it means the beta value will be changing. Okay, so that value of the beta is actually called beta force value, like we did in the example. PNP transistor, so as I discussed earlier, it's similar, so just change in the direction of the current. Okay, so here we have the P, we have N and P. Okay, so this direction of the arrow indicate that we have PNP or NPN. In the NPN, so this is N, this is P and N. Positive current is flowing from positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative, so current flow, so P and P. Okay, so this the change in the current flow. So these are the equivalent model for the PNP. So for the active mode, as I said, base emitter junction should be forward bias, base collector should be reverse. Now if it also become forward bias, okay, so basically the flow of the current is reducing, so that is actually the saturation mode. In reverse bias, both are reversed. So basically, if we so far we have solved the simple BJT circuits. So if you get a complex circuit like this one, okay, and we want to perform the DC analysis, then how we can actually do that? So far we have solved the circuit like this one, that we have this is the emitter resistance, that was the collector, and that was the base resistance. Okay, we have supplies here, VCC, VBB, and this one's the ground. Okay, now we get a complex circuit like this one. So we actually to solve this, what we do, we try to convert this circuit to this configuration. Okay, how we can convert? Okay, we try to find that what is this base voltage value here. Okay, so if you just look at this circuit, so here you are supplying VCC, okay, any value, and here is, so this circuit will look like this one, that we have VCC here, and this is R2 and R1. Now if you want to calculate VBB, so that will be equal to R2 divided by voltage divided with R2 plus R1 multiply with the VCC. So that will be the value of the VBB for this case. And if you want to calculate what is the base resistance, so basically these two resistance are in parallel. Okay, so this is called RB or sometimes called R-Thevenin. Okay, so these two resistance are in parallel. So parallel means R1 and R2 are in parallel. So we can calculate R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay, so by doing these two steps, okay, we can get this value and this value. Okay, and we can simplify our circuit to this configuration, that this is VBB and this is R-Thevenin or RB value. Okay, now the next case IB and IC value. Okay, so the rest of the circuit, now it become our similar circuit which we have solved earlier, and we can easily solve this circuit, okay, using the same procedure. Okay, for example, now if you want to calculate the what is the IB value here, so we can write the KVL equation here, and then from that KVL equation we can actually drive this relationship, IC beta IB. And if you want to calculate what is this current here, the collector emitter voltage, we know that VCC minus IC into RC. Okay, VCC minus IC into RC, that will be this voltage. Okay, so depending on like the IC value, we can actually go for the next case. Okay, so this is an example based on the earlier analysis. We will try to solve this example in the live session. That's end for today for this part of the lecture, and we will solve the relevant example in the live session. Thank you very much for your time here.